Back, fellas. You guys went to Portugal. It's been a little busy. Life happens, you know. But welcome back to Goal In.
Thank you, John. Yeah, we're glad to be back. It's been
We
a
got,
long while.
a lot to catch up after a month. You know what I mean?
Before season started, and we're like 3 games and an international break.
A whole international break. Where do you guys want to start? You guys transfers?
We could probably start. I guess you could just
Just a roundup, I guess, like a quick.
We could even start international. It just happened. Sure. It's probably just fresh,
Portugal
fresher in everyone's mind.
went back to back.
Yeah, I mean, the European qualification is not the the most difficult, but it was a decent game the other day against Hungary. Hungary's
A better team than
a
Armenia.
better team than a lot of like those mid-tier European teams.
Yeah.
And you know, when they play at home, you get a nice little atmosphere there. When Portugal played was it the Euro? The last Euro, I think they played Hungary in Hungary.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever a easy match, right?
Yeah,
They're
it's
at Puskas Stadium. It's a historic national team.
Right.
And they got some players, right? Two guys that play routinely for Liverpool and Kirkes and Szoboszlai. So
We're speaking of Kirkes is like, I knew he was good, but like I feel like he's been stellar.
He just has like
a
a engine, like he
Yeah,
just never
like-
stops, right?
right.
I think it's like a perfect Andy Robertson replacement.
Right,
It's
like a new gen.
The same player and just
Yeah.
years younger than him.
It's crazy.
But no, I
But
think
going back.
I think Portugal right now is just like a well-oiled machine. I think like they're just at such a consistent level right now that, I mean, we saw 2 different formations, 2 different lineups, and the same level of dominance was there. Granted, they conceded 2 goals. They played a much better team than they did 4 days prior, and the formation was a little bit weird. They had Ruben Neves playing center back, and he never really does. It was a little weird, but they still had, I think it was like 82% possession. They had endless amount of shots. They conceded 2 weird goals off crosses that like everyone's kind of like all over the place, but
which is what worries
level.
me about the team, right? Like, we're so organized. The way we play is so like methodical, especially against teams now. Because Portugal, at least when I was growing up, never had this phase of like clear dominance. Yeah, because we are a dominant side now, where you know you got guys like Vitinha, Ruben Neves, Bernard, like super technical players all across, like all around the pitch. There is not one weak link on the ball.
And I don't even
Definitely a golden era.
against Armenia, Bernardo didn't even play. Or I don't know if he went in, but he didn't go in. He didn't even start. He didn't go in, and it's like the first 20 minutes of the game. Granted, it was Armenia. It was like they should have been up like 4-0.
Right.
It was just they put the game to bed easily.
So we're in a great phase, but what worries me is that sort of that weakness where we know what Hungary is going to do, right? They're going to sit back. They're going to cross the heck out of the ball. Mm-hmm. And you started one center back. I thought that was a little peculiar.
Also, I think it was very weird that, like, I mean, I couldn't care less if you're trying different things, especially in a group where you're more than likely going to win. But it's like, that was your hardest game, and you kind of trot out that lineup. It was a little funky. Now it wasn't like, oh, let's throw it up against Armenia where you know you're going to score 4 goals anyway.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was
it's a away to Hungary. You know, it's like you got to kind of win that one. Where it's like, I mean, now you've won 2 games away, and they're in the driver's seat. They're going to go back home and play the next 2 games against Ireland and whoever at home. But they'll be fine, and there's that.
That's what kind of worries me about this whole thing is that I don't think Roberto Martinez is necessarily the best coach available for Portugal. I think he's a fine manager. He's done well, but the team is so good that it's almost irrespective of him. Like, the team will do well regardless.
Right.
The players are so good. I get worried about those difficult matches, presumably if we get there in the World Cup.
Like the ones like the more grindy.
Of course,
Well,
when you're up against Tuchel or something.
right.
Well, that's the argument I had a couple days ago with somebody else. It was, like I said, right now, this team is just so well-oiled. Like, you could throw 14, 15 different players and they're just going to win games because they're that good right now. Like, individually, even if they're playing really bad, they're going to score a goal at some point because they're just that good. But you look at the knockout games in the Euro, 2 years ago? No, a year ago now. And, like, we tied Slovenia. We won the penalties. And we tied, then we lost to France. I think we played well, and France is a good team. But, like, you're kind of at that level where you got to win those games.
Right.
Like, or at least, we can't always lose to France.
Right, exactly. Especially if you want to take the next step.
And then I guess we could talk about, like, the Nations League. Like, he won that. But I think, again, like, they kind of won in spite of Roberto Martinez. Like, that game against Germany, this is probably the worst Germany side that we've ever seen. in terms of results and the way they've been playing. They just tied the other day against some random team, or lost. They lost to
I forget.
Slovakia. They lost to Slovakia.
Yes.
And it's like
You were down 2-0 or something.
we were down a goal in the game that we dominated against Germany too,
Right.
and then we got a wonder goal from Shiku, and I forgot who scored the other goal, and it kind of bailed him out. And we ended up winning the final against Spain. Again, we played very well, I think. But like Rui said, are we winning in spite of Martinez? And I think that's the case right now.
It would.
I mean, if it works, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like-
We've seen, like, I think if he loses the Nations League semi or final,
Yeah.
there's a reason for the Federation to come in and
And I
implement.
think that was the goal. I think that
Right.
was like, not that they were hoping to lose to Spain, but it's like, all right, if we lose to Spain, this is what's going to
it's a
happen.
fresh break.
And it's like, it kind of
Right.
sucks. Like, Spain's probably the best national team in the world right now. And you're like, well, if you lose to Spain, you're out the door. And then he saves
won.
himself,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah.
And now Mourinho was available. And
Well,
it was just
yeah,
like,
and it's
oh,
like-
man.
And it's like, you're going to say, like, right now, even if they were, like, you're not going to fire this guy less than 12 months before the World Cup
Yeah, of
starts, right?
course.
Like, you're
It
gonna
would be
let him
nuts.
to
It
work.
would be nuts.
It'd be an insane thing
Yeah.
to do,
I think
even
so, too.
even if you don't agree. Like probably all of us here
Even if
probably
you
don't
do,
agree.
right?
That
Even
you're
if
not the
you,
manager.
right. You can't cause that instability this close.
I just
to the
think it's very
competition.
strange. Like national team and club is just so different. Like you're gonna need, and I think it's, and a national team coach. I think you just really need a guy who can motivate that team. Like I don't think it's more about tactics. You're gonna be there for a month, and you need to win 7 games.
Right.
And that's why, like, Mourinho is probably not the best club coach anymore. He has a long season of planning, but
He's
if
a
you
tournament
need
coach.
if you need a guy who can win knockout games, is he the best option? Like, can you get guys to play for you for 7 games and grind out results and win 7 games?
Yeah.
Probably.
Right. Mourinho, I feel like definitely fits the bill of that kind of coach.
Like, can you do
Yeah.
it?
And then I guess you get worried, like, oh, do you want him for this World Cup? You're probably not going to get him
Yeah,
now, right?
no.
Roberto Martinez is doing very well. But if he slips up or if they see a weakness there, Mourinho's right in line.
It's very interesting how that's going to go. I saw the rankings, like the FIFA World Rankings, came out yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday.
We're up to
And
like,
the
5th or something.
Portugal passed Brazil up to number 5. And if you look at the top 5, I think you could say like next year the World Cup, like those are the 5 teams that can win it.
Okay.
I know Brazil's 6. I just don't think right now Brazil is
They do look a little.
there to win it.
Bold take. Brandon says Brazil will not win.
I don't think they can do it right now. I think they're in a very different phase than they were 10 years ago, in a kind of rebuilding phase, and they're kind of stuck in the middle where they have like very good players, and some spots are just like, wow, this guy's still on the national team.
Right.
Like Danilo still gets called sometimes. Like it's just a very weird thing. They're in a weird spot.
I mean,
think
like historically, though, I feel like besides a couple of standouts, like those are positions like Brazil's always kind of been weak in.
But you know,
what I
it's-
mean?
it's-
Besides, like you get like the Cafus or
Correct,
like
right?
the Roberto Carlos come in, but
yeah.
recently, like I feel like they've been a little thin in that position.
Yeah, and I just it's even like now, like you look at the Brazilians playing in Europe, and it's like who's standing out right now? Like,
Richarlison.
yeah, he's been the best one since the start of the season, right? Like Vinicius hasn't been the player he was a year ago. Rodrigo can't get any minutes at Madrid. It's like you look at those players like Paquetá is playing.
Ederson
now.
got shoved out the door.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
he's not
Like,
even he's in
Yeah.
Turkey now. Like
which is crazy. I was not expecting. That was not on my bingo card for this summer.
Alisson's still the starter, and he's like
Right, but like
that's the one.
Ederson at one point was still like the
The
best
guy,
keeper.
yeah.
You know what I mean in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like
um,
but then Argentina falls to under Spain, and I just don't think that's right. Like Argentina's won the World Cup, they barely lose. They just lost to Ecuador, but like they don't
well,
lose.
that's what happens when you lose to Ecuador.
I guess that's Ecuador tax, but like they don't lose, and they kind of until somebody can prove that they can beat them in a competition right now. I think
They're
you
the
should
team to
probably
beat,
stay number
right.
1. But I think it's like it's Spain, Argentina,
Say it.
France.
Portugal.
No, I'm saying the top 5: France, England, Portugal. Those are
Yeah.
the top 5.
Gotcha.
And I think if you look at any of those teams, I think any of those teams to win the World Cup next year is not a crazy shot.
Sort of the last thing I'd want to say about Portugal, at least over the weekend, I thought it was interesting how sharp all the Saudi league players look. It really, at one point, at least in the first game, I think
They scored all the goals.
they contributed to all the goals.
They scored all the
João Cancelo, Ruben, and
I mean,
obviously.
is their season format like the same as Europe, like calendar-wise, the same as Europe, or have they been playing competitively like before the season
I think
started.
they've
You know
been
what I mean?
playing
Like,
competitively. I think their season just started also.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it just started.
It ends at a weird time and starts at a weird time, but those guys are always in spectacular shape because it's just in an incredibly hot place.
Right.
So it's difficult
Kind
to
of
play
forces
in.
you to be in top
Yeah.
15.
So and they now these teams are
Oh,
stellar teams.
Do you
Unbelievable
also
training.
have none of those guys went to the Club World Cup.
That's
None
true,
of those
too.
guys were playing
Yeah.
late into
That's true,
Champions League. You know,
Yeah.
like you look at everybody else, like even the guys didn't like Dalot. I think he was hurt, but like Dalot played in the Europa League final
Yeah.
late in the season. Vitinha, Jonev played in the Club World Cup. Like they had 3 weeks off. You know, like
And then form is such a
Very
big thing
true,
too,
very
right?
true.
Like we saw the phase that Cancelo went through
Oh, yeah.
at City where he's not playing. A lot of guys they need confidence, they need
even when he
steady
was at Barca,
minutes.
like he
you know?
started well, and then that's kind of when he got off the national team when he left Barca, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "What is this guy doing?" Like,
And that guy, when he's confident, is just such a great attacking wing back.
Right.
So
I mean, he had 2 good games right now, Armenia and the other game.
fantastic.
It was very good.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like. I think it's his mentality that really gets in his way. Because like
Sure.
from what like
I mean, they won the Nations League without him, right?
Yeah.
right, like every locker room has like issues with him wherever he goes.
I think that was a problem. I think in the Euro or the World Cup prior, I think they were
Right.
having some issues with him. But again, it's just this national team is just so different than what it was even 4 years ago. Like you look
True.
at the team and there's so much talent everywhere, and even the
Stacked. I've
leadership.
never seen a Portugal team so
It's
stacked.
just so good. Like the leadership quality, I think, is so good. You have 5 or 6 players who are captain at their actual team, and these are top teams in the world, right? Like Bernardo Silva is the captain of Manchester City.
Yeah, which is a new announcement, right?
Yeah, I think he just got it. Ruben Diaz is like the vice. I think he's one of the vice captains. And Bernardo Silva doesn't play every game now either. So you know,
Right.
like, and then Ronaldo's been a captain his whole life. Bruno Fernandes is captain of United. Like
Yeah.
they're just
definitely have a leadership core
across the board.
Right.
You know,
I
like.
think Vitinha is probably vice captain.
He's one of the
now.
vice captains, yeah.
Behind
And João Neves is going to be there if he's
Even-
there enough.
even,
Like, I
um,
think he'll be one.
The keeper Diogo.
Dio Costa has been Porto's captain for
Yeah.
years now. Ruben Neves has been
Leaders all
captain
over the
for
place.
All over the place.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like got generals on the field, you know.
And
like
I think they're
Yeah.
just a very accountable group, and that goes back to: is the coach doing like are they winning in spite
He must
of
be
the
doing.
players?
Something, he must be doing something right. I think.
But I think they
performances-
are responding to like he's keeping them very united. I think I've also never seen like a Portugal team like that. Where, like no one's really
Vibes, yeah.
panicking like before a game. You'd be like, oh damn, Portugal's playing the World Cup qualifier.
right,
Like,
right. I remember that.
Yeah, who's gonna make the
Yeah,
starting?
like, you're like, oh
Right,
god, like what are they
Albert
gonna do?
Prestiga
Like,
will be starting today.
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
I mean, even they were talking about the last time we played Armenia in Armenia, Ronaldo scored a hat trick in the 90th minute. He had to score a game winner to beat Armenia 3-2. Like,
Oh, we used to have some
Like-
embarrassing
like-
outings.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did we go to a
We've
playoff?
definitely evolved
right?
since then.
Yeah.
I just literally today just saw the lineup that Ronaldo. They were talking about Ronaldo's prime and the lineup that they had to put out in the World Cup of 2010, and like
Oh man, I can't even.
Eduardo
Miguel
goalie,
Veloz,
Ricardo
probably-
Costa right back,
Oof.
Ricardo
He's a
Carvalho
center
center back,
Okay.
Bruno Alves, Duda was the left back, Pep was playing defensive mid, Thiago was playing midfield with Raul Meireles, and then Quintran was playing left wing,
Jesus Christ.
Danny
Another
right
defender.
wing, and Ronaldo was a striker.
Right, yeah.
Like it was like 6 defenders there. It was
Wow.
like that's a team we took
What
to the
a
World
team,
Cup, right?
what a
Like,
team.
Yeah.
and you look at those guys
Ballers all
now.
around.
You look at
Man.
those guys now. It's like Ricardo Carvalho in his prime would start on this team, and like that's
That's probably it. Besides Ronaldo himself.
There's some cult heroes in there. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, but
Raul
culture
Neves,
doesn't mean you're on the
Raul
same
Neves.
level. You know
that
what
was
I mean?
Thiago, right?
Yeah,
Like-
cult heroes.
But it's just
Yeah.
the level's just so different. And then even the U21 team is just stacked. Like
True.
they didn't have Morta and Kenda on the first team. Now they were playing on the U21 team, and they both had 2 goals and 2 assists in 2 games that they just played.
Yeah, it's a,
And Roger Fernandez
looking
just
good.
signed for Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia, and he had another assist. So like, it's looking
good.
there's a lot of
good, huh?
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of talent.
What about South American qualifiers? Lots of drama.
Dude, if this was regular World Cup and not this expanded
They'd be in
team,
the playoff.
Brazil would be going to the playoff.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is
Like,
crazy.
horrendous qualifier for them.
They
Yeah.
didn't play well, and again, that's just like I mean, they also just got Ancelotti, and I think
Working
he's there
out the
3 games,
kinks,
right? Like
yeah.
they'll be all right, but again, I think there's just 5 or 6 better teams in them right now, and I think Ecuador had a great qualifier. They started with negative points and ended up 2nd place. if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I didn't realize they started with negative points.
Remember they got, because that guy
was
was
the Columbia thing. Yeah.
So they started with negative points and still stayed second. They had some great wins in there. Just ended the thing beating.
Yeah. They're unbelievable defensively. That team is.
Yeah, they have Pacho and Capier, and like they can.
And Caicedo, right?
Their problem is right now they can't score goals, but but they can defend probably as well as.
You know who's
solid,
You know who's unemployed right now and could coach that team and win the World Cup?
Fernand Sancho. Because he would hold every team to 0-0 and they'd pass the group.
I saw a clip today, and it was. We had just drawn 2 games in the Euro.
Oh yes,
and
the last day, right?
Yeah, and he's having a press conference and he says something the 11th of whatever, June 11th.
June, yeah.
I'll still be here. That's when I'm flying home. Is June 11th.
It was because they brought it up because it was right before the Hungary game. That was the last game of the group.
Speaking of Hungary.
Yeah, right. So they
Tough
were saying
game.
like, "Are you worried you're gonna get knocked out?" And then he said like, "I'll be here till the last, till the 11th of June."
It's like God.
And he waltzed his way into a Euro.
One of the ugliest tournaments you'll ever see.
But I think it's going to be like that next World Cup with this expanded team. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of lopsided results. A lot of teams that are going to be in there.
I think you see a lot of surprises too, and like
I
unexpected wins. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You're going to get a lot of teams like that have never been there.
Right.
Don't know the moment.
Definitely like stage fright kind of.
Bolivia's going to the playoff. I don't know. They probably play some team from Asia or Oceania. I don't know how that playoff goes. But like if Bolivia makes the World Cup, have they been there? I don't know.
think so.
Not in my lifetime. They've never been there. So like, what is that going to look like?
Right,
and they're
right.
not playing at the
their
Bolivian
home
elevation
in the mountains.
where they win
Hey
most of the
man,
games.
I got love for Bolivian football.
right.
When I played in high school, we had a bunch of Bolivian guys there. They were recruited from the best program there. I think there's going to be way worse teams, say from the
That's what I'm
Oceania.
saying. Like I think, what was it, Auckland team that we had in the Club World Cup?
Right,
like,
FCN.
Right.
Something like that.
Were they from New Zealand or something?
Yeah.
If New Zealand comes out, they could get rocked as well.
I think the European side is still going to get like decent teams in there because you get the group winner plus I think the other teams go to a playoff. But
And then I think Rui had mentioned before it was the 8 third-place teams, right? Best third-place teams.
Yeah, so the World Cup is going to have 48 teams, 32
it's just
teams.
too many, bro.
32
Honestly,
teams
we
are gonna
were
make
talking
it
about
out.
this before. I think it's a good thing for the World Cup, and I like that they go from groups to like around a 32 knockout. Like
I think it's going to be like you're going to win 2 games in the World Cup, and the third game is going to be like everybody's going to get to play that gets called up. Like, let's say Portugal gets to put in a group and they win the first 2 games. Like, who's going to play the third game, right?
Yeah.
right.
I
They've
think it's gonna be-
supersized the World Cup.
But really, America will do that nowadays. You know what I mean? In like current World Cup, if you
yeah.
win your first two games, you can chill out your last
chill,
game.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same
I think
thing.
it's just going to be, all in all, it gets to the end, and I think it's going to be the same teams.
Right, right.
Like the Club World Cup was, right? Like, it
Well,
started
nobody
out
expected
and-
Chelsea to be there.
That's true. I guess
Well,
that's true.
but still,
as
it's
the
still Chelsea.
out of everybody, as the finalist,
Chelsea
you
guy
know,
who would
let alone the
wear,
winner.
I think,
breeches.
Yeah, I saw.
I think typically when there's
Do you think they get a
more,
point deduction?
when there's more teams, there's less Cinderella stories, right? At least from my perspective.
You could argue there's potential for more.
I
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
so.
But
I
I
think
think
the
it-
round of 32 and 16 will weed them out pretty quickly.
And I think that's the thing. So, like, I think there's just so many teams where it's like you're going to end up facing a good team, like, really quick.
Right.
Yeah, you guys remember that
And too
World
many
Cup
good teams.
where like Ghana, USA, and Uruguay,
2010.
they were all on that same side of the bracket. So you knew inevitably one of these teams are going to be
Go
able to
far,
make it to a
right?
semifinal.
Right.
Right, and who made it to Uruguay?
Uruguay.
Yeah, so
They beat Ghana because Suarez handballed.
Yeah.
right, horrible guy by the way. He spat on a match official.
And then
He never.
So he
changes.
gets 6 games suspension, but only
League Cup.
in the League Cup.
Yeah.
The MLS League Cup.
Yeah, so instead
So
of
like he can still play in the
he
league.
can still play in the league. He's just
Dude.
playing the League Cup.
That's
They
crazy.
can't figure
It's a
anything
joke.
out, but that's another story for another
That's
day.
crazy. But I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it has the potential to like lead to more drama and potential like Cinderella stories, and you know what I mean. Like I mentioned before, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the last World Cup. I imagine that in the round of 32 to knock them out. You know what I mean? Like
My point is a loss in the previous setup meant more in the group stages. A lot of third place teams
Yeah.
are out. So it's sort of the same
True.
way Portugal made it out of the Euro. It's like they didn't deserve to get out of that
They
group.
tied
They
3
did
games.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
how does that
that's
happen?
Yeah. So in this setup, like maybe you'll see some upsets. Obviously, you'll see upsets in the group stages. But I think when it, like
When it
Brandon
gets
said, when
to
it gets
it,
down to the
right.
final 8, we'll
Even
probably
like
get
probably the 16s, right? Like you'll get like 16 good teams. Well, like 12 good teams and like 4 decent teams probably.
and then by the end of it, you're going to see the best team.
It's going to be the same top 10. Talking about top 10, Germany's not in the top 10, and that was like
Such a fall.
They weren't on that list?
Such a fall off
they're
for
not in
Germany.
the top 10,
Wow,
Yeah.
right? Think about that. And what's his?
they're still going to be a good
who's
side.
what's his
though.
name? Who's the
Are
coach?
they though? Because like,
I think
Dude,
so.
the quality on that team,
It's not looking good.
I don't think so.
it's definitely not the strongest Germany I've seen in my lifetime.
Of course not. Yeah.
Like this is.
But who's their coach? The young guy.
Is it Nagelsmann?
Nagelsmann. And Nagelsmann was talking about, like, he said the other day when they lost to Slovakia, like, these are the 11 best players Germany has to offer. Maybe next time I'll just play the 11 players that care the most because these guys don't care. So they're having a lot of turmoil
Strong
going
words.
in there.
Yikes,
And that was
yikes.
the first game of qualifiers.
Oof.
Roberto Martinez would never say something so harsh.
Well, Ronaldo would kick him out.
Yeah.
He'd get him
That's
off the
true.
team. So there's that.
We have the shadow coach on our team. They don't have. You know what I mean?
No, but actually, though.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the Premier League?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to talk about
We can start with like transfer roundup. It was a crazy last day. I wasn't expecting Isaac
That's
to.
right. So
Well, I kind of was, but I wasn't. You know, kind of went to the wire.
He had to end up at Liverpool,
He had
right?
to, he had
he had
to.
severed all ties with Newcastle. There was no salvaging that.
It'd also be a little silly for Newcastle to hold him on.
Yeah.
If you're getting whatever 120, whatever they got, like
Of course, why
What do you mean,
why
right?
hurt your asset?
Yeah, right.
Let it go. They held out until the last possible minute, which is what.
they got a replacement for him. They got the German dude,
And they also bought Witzel, which is he's a good player.
Jovan
Yeah.
Wissa. United lets go of Onana.
Finally, right.
Today.
Turkey.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Somehow the Turkish window is still open, which just makes absolutely no sense. Like,
I think
How does that make sense?
I don't understand it either.
2 weeks after the window closes, we're gonna
Yeah.
still stay
Keep
open.
going.
I even think the Saudi window closed yesterday, and the Turkish one is still, like, how does
they
that
do
make
what they
sense?
want over there.
Yeah, right.
Ottomans,
Also,
man.
they just spent a ton of money. The whole
Yeah, that
Turkish
whole league in
like-
general.
Oh, really? Aside from Fenerbahce and Galatasaray?
Yeah, like everyone. Besiktas signed, I think, like 3 players today. Jota Silva went to Besiktas today.
Oh,
Yeah,
from
that happened
Nottingham?
today, yeah.
From
Wow.
Nottingham.
Maybe we mentioned before, Ederson went to Turkey. I was not
Yeah,
expecting.
Trabzonspor, which
Yeah,
is
I
the worst
was not
team.
expecting.
No, that was Onana.
That was Onana. I think he went to.
Fenerbahce.
It was Fenerbahce. Okay.
But then you got Nottingham fires Nuno, brings in a
Ange.
Horrible. I play Fantasy Premier League, and I have 2 Nottingham
defender.
defenders.
Good luck.
Because Nuno is an organized, disciplined
Well, now
coach.
they're gonna play in midfield.
Now Ainge likes to play that lineup.
Now they're
So
gonna play
accurate.
midfielders.
He plays the highest line I've ever seen a coach ever play is what Ainge likes to do.
Why
So-
did Nuno leave? Like I didn't read the
So
story.
him and
Was it just a falling out with like higher ups?
Marouakis, whatever his name is,
the Olympiacos guy?
the big Greek owner.
Yeah, okay.
They had an argument towards the end of last year, and like, I mean, they were in the Champions League spot the whole year basically. They started losing games
remember,
towards the end of the
right.
year. I mean, Forest wasn't the best team. I don't really know what he
nobody
was
was
expecting.
expecting- right,
They
exactly.
still got them into the Europa League. Well, it was Conference League, and then this whole thing with Crystal Palace, and they made the Europa League. And then
I love their story last year. I thought
I mean,
Nuno, I
like,
thought Nuno did a
what
fantastic
more
job.
could he have wanted? Like,
Yeah.
everyone picked them to be probably
Coach
a
of the
bottom
year.
half team, like,
Right.
and end up going to Europe. And then in this whole offseason, they were signing nobody, and they sold
Elanga.
Elanga, and they were going to sell Gibbs White until the owner came with a gun behind his back, basically, and said, "You can't leave."
He's exaggerating.
Is he though?
Stop playing about guns.
But then he goes and like, so Nuno criticized again and said, like, we went through this whole window, we haven't signed nobody.
Right.
Like,
How are you supposed to grow?
I don't know what
right.
this development is. Like, we can't build any chemistry. We don't know who's going to be here, who's going to leave. And then the last day, they signed like 4 players.
Hutchinson and they start
McAtee, like,
splashing money.
yeah,
He
they
was probably completely in the dark
And
for it.
then, now you think about it, like, those were all like attacking players, and were they made for Nuno, or were they already thinking about
Ange.
bringing in Ange, right?
That's
That's a good point.
That's what I was thinking when I saw, like, this is already criticized, and like, they don't have the best relationship. And he got smoked by West Ham.
Oh, that was awful.
4-0, 5-0, something
That
like
was
that.
awful. I was very invested in that game because of Fantasy Premier League.
I think-
And I'm like, we have a clean sheet here, and the West
They
Ham
got
scored
smoked.
3
Oh, 3, yeah.
in, I think, from the 85th minute onward.
Yeah, and then
Damn.
I saw that, and it was going to international break, and I was like, this can't probably.
Oh, that's still the deal.
Yeah,
that's
and then
And they knew it,
you
too.
weren't gonna say like, oh, this guy's winning games, let's fire him, even though
Right.
They probably waited for the first bad result, and they're like, all right, get out of here.
Absolutely.
Right.
Against Graham Potter and West Ham, it's a horrible side.
Who hadn't scored a goal on top of who's the other team that hasn't scored a goal, Rui?
Aston Villa. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah,
How are they doing?
I think they're in last place. If they're not in last, they're in second to last. They have 1 point.
Rough.
They haven't scored a goal. They have a really bad loss versus Brentford, who I think is going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. They lost to Brentford away. They tied the first game to Newcastle, which was a decent draw.
Okay.
But it was at home. You expect, but they got a red card early. Then you lose to Brentford.
A lot of excuses.
No, it's not an excuse. I'm saying they lost. They played terribly. And then they played horrendously against Crystal Palace, who they always lose to. It's just like, it's a weird thing. Like,
That team is good.
it's a great team, but they can never beat them. Like, even be competitive. Last year they lost like 4-0, 4-0, and then lost in the cup. And
It's
it's
like a
like,
psyche thing.
it might be.
Yeah.
But then they had the whole thing of Emi Martinez was like not training.
Right, because he wanted that move.
This is the day
that he
before
never
the
got.
deadline, and like
Right.
this guy's not playing, and they get smoked by Crystal Palace, and Mateta's kicking them the corner flag and gets a yellow card for it, or whatever they did.
I have them on fantasy as well.
He's kicking them
You're just making great
I also
picks.
have Morgan Rogers.
You're making
Yeah.
great
Amazing.
picks.
So then, but I mean, on the last day, they made some good signings. You got Sancho. I think he's going to help out. They got Harvey Elliott from Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's a
I think
great
he's going to
signing.
be a great signing.
He's awesome.
I think Jadon Sancho was a good signing too.
I think so.
It's a good gamble.
And
It's
then
like the
they got-
Rashford.
Right, like I would say it's a low risk, high reward.
If you can get him back into form in an environment where he's going to be comfortable, and I think Emery gets a lot of those players into good form. He did well with Rashford last year, with Asensio also.
Did you guys get Asensio again? Or
No, he went to Turkey. He went to Fenerbahce also, I think.
What a shame.
And then they signed Lindelof for free because United never renewed his contract.
He's good. I like
He'll be a
Lindelof.
backup to Konza and to Pau Torre. Yes.
Pau Torres.
Pau Torres.
Yeah.
But they'll be. I think they'll be better. They're going to figure it out at some point, I think.
What do you think is happening? That they're just
Well, they sold
in
a
the slump.
ton of players, and they're under heavy PSR, and they can't really sign anybody because
Gotcha.
majority of their revenue is through wages, and they had to sell the women's team.
Oh man. That
Yeah,
sucks.
it's been
A lot of teams have been doing that, kind of
Well-
parting ways with their women's team.
So it breaks off their wages part towards like revenue. So it's one way to escape PSR deduction
Okay.
and trouble because you're not paying a whole set of coaches and
Right. All
So
the
you-
staff. Right.
essentially
Yeah.
it's not the right thing to do because like you could sell it to another asset of yours, right? So like
Oh, to another
So,
corporate
like,
or
they're
another
watching.
entity of
Aston
yours?
Villa
Yeah, yeah.
sold
they're
it to the like an owner's other
I
business
see, I see.
essentially.
So like a Kawhi Leonard situation.
The same guy who owns the Bucks, he's the owner of Aston
Oh,
Villa.
really?
So
Oh,
they
wow.
just sold it to one of his ventures at some point. So like, it's
crazy.
all in the same thing.
Eventually probably pays Giannis, but in Greece.
Right?
basically,
So
yeah.
like, same thing Chelsea did last year to avoid it, but Chelsea is a different story because
Yeah.
everyone just buys their players at
I
ridiculous
mean,
prices.
Chelsea's also
and-
about to get hit.
yeah, they just got breached today. Did you see that?
Did they?
Yeah.
They got.
What was it?
how
Like
many?
72?
I just saw it. Let's see.
Or did I read that wrong?
No, I don't think you did. It was
Okay, he's gonna pay lawyers. They're gonna be fine.
Chelsea
I don't
charged,
know, this
accused of
came from
74
Abramovich era.
74 alleged
forward.
regulation breaches between 2009 and 2022.
Oh yeah.
Which means they'll sign like 5 more players for 10-year deals and
Preemptively,
Preemptively,
yeah. Well, that's what they've been doing. Is sort of.
Maybe that's why they've been giving everybody 7-year deals. They saw it coming.
Yeah. No, they've been locking
You know
guys
what I
in
mean?
for
So
way
lock in
longer.
your talent for as
Them
long as you
loaning.
can. You know?
someone here in comments is saying that Aston Villa is going to battle relegation this year.
What's your bold take
That's right.
about Villa and where they end up? Given
Yeah, I was going to ask you that too.
horrific.
I had said prior to the season that they would probably be like lower top half. I still think they'll be right there. I think they'll be like 10th, 11th.
Better than last.
Better than last, much better than last. But
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said better than last
Oh,
year. I was
better than
like,
last
Oh, no. Better
But
than last
I do
place.
think, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told Rui, but I've told a couple other people that I think they're going to heavily compete in the Europa League
I can see that.
and
I mean, Emery's
go through
the
the
king
motion,
of that.
right? Go
you
through
know.
the motion in the Premier League. Obviously, not just kick it down the road, but I think they will try very hard in the Europa League because that is your ticket to the Champions League. And if you look at the Europa League this year, the teams that are in it, it's probably one of the weaker years that you've seen it. Like Forest is in it, who's decent. If Porto continues to play well, like they'll probably be up there too. But there's not too many like big teams.
I mean, this is a good chance for like a Portuguese team
well,
to win.
So then you don't have all those Champions League teams falling over now.
Right,
anymore
exactly.
From the Europa League, so like
They don't do that anymore?
No.
So you just play in the
Ever since the league transition.
So that's what I'm saying. And so whatever's in there now is what's going to be in there.
That's the whole. Yeah, they don't do that.
And like if you look at
Which I think is a good thing because, like, honestly, you're
I
kind of
agree, I
just
hated that.
bailing out the Champions League teams
yeah,
for
and you're
failing.
like,
You know what I mean?
You'd be a big team and somehow manage to stay in third place and go to Europa League and
Right,
do
and just
everybody.
win. Right, exactly.
Sevilla would always do that.
like they,
Chelsea did that the one
every
year,
would stay in
didn't they?
third place and go to
The
Europa League.
year
and
they beat Benfica, wasn't that? Did they fall down from the Champions League?
They must have.
They probably did.
Yeah, they must have.
But it's like, so now
We're
it's
playing
like,
David Luiz. Yeah.
whatever you got in there is what you're going to get. And like the
It's a good
teams are not that, like if you can be decent, and I think Villa and Forest probably end up being there, especially Angel probably want to go back to back because he won it last year.
Imagine.
His interviews. He's been
I would
annoying
love
me.
that. I would love that.
I always win things. Like,
So like,
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be. I think that's definitely what they're gonna try to do, and that's the, I guess, easiest way to get in the Champions League, considering.
Yeah, true.
I think the top 6 this
Locked,
year are very
probably, yeah.
strong. We look at Liverpool has started 3 for 3, 4 for 3 for 3.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's
three
been
for
3
three
games,
last.
right?
They're the only one.
Beat Arsenal.
They were a little shaky in the. What was it? Their first game?
You know, I think they've been shaky
Palace.
in every single game,
Yeah.
and they've
Yeah.
won every
But they've
single
made
game.
it through,
And I
right?
think
Yeah.
that's like, when you look at that, it's like, wow, I don't think they've played a full 90 minutes yet, and they've won every single game. And they've beaten Bournemouth. That was a great
Yeah.
game. That was the first game of the season.
Newcastle.
And that was another great game.
And then
They
it was
scored in
Arsenal.
the 96th minute, and they beat
With
Arsenal. So
the
like,
last.
yeah, you won 3 good, like very tough games,
Yeah.
and you haven't played well yet. You know.
Yeah.
Which
those
looks-
are all
What's
different
Arsenal
games.
looking like, Rui? What do you think?
Boring as ever. I mean,
Arsenal
I'm not
fans.
an Arsenal fan, but
matter
but they
what.
like to pretend that I am. But yeah, I think it's just more of the same with them. They're going to be in the mix. They look great defensively again. I like the window they've had. I think for now, Jokic still looks a little sort of not in good form. I think he doesn't look quite that sharp.
Is it
he's
weird?
had a
Is
bad
he kinda
international break.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the kid that Arsenal. He kind of looks overweight in that kid, which is crazy because I know he's not because I just saw him play a whole last season. You know what I mean?
Well, I wonder. He hasn't really had a preseason.
I was gonna
so
say,
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't train, which is kind of foolish of him. Didn't train at all with Spartan, or I mean, probably at all, right? So he's waiting for the move, and I'm sure he did whatever like on the side. But
yeah, absolutely.
when you go from the Portuguese league or any league, not the Premier League, to the
Right.
Premier League,
It's such a step up
is
compared
already
to
a step
anything
up.
else.
And then
right?
you're not training for a month when these guys, majority of them didn't even stop training. They played, and then 2 weeks later they were
Right,
playing
continued again,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's a different beast, right? So I think he'll get going, and I think he's.
I mean, he didn't start terribly.
Yeah, I mean, he has what, two goals in 3 games. He
yeah,
scored
he
the 2 goals in
he
1
was in the
game.
blowout.
I think he'll score a good amount of goals, I believe. It's gonna get a while to go, but I think Arsenal's gonna just create too many chances for him not to score goals.
Right.
And I think the
that's-
Eze signing is just fantastic.
Yeah,
I think
that was a good, very
he's
good
a
signing.
big time player, and he offers a lot of creativity, and he could attack from the left side, which I think Martinelli, you could kind of give up on that. I don't know what's going on with Trossard. I haven't seen him yet this year. I thought Madueke looked pretty good against Liverpool, giving Kirkus problems. What are the comments saying here?
Jokic should be playing small forward for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, Sesko should have.
Sesko has not looked good.
He should be
Sesko
point guard
fan.
for.
But no, I think
He has
the
not. No.
Arsenal's question will always be, will Arteta go for it in like the big moment? And I don't think he even did that against Liverpool
Mm-hmm.
the other day. They've had some injuries already. I think everybody's kind of had some injuries already, which is unfortunate. But
Overflux of games.
I think that was the problem last year, and they weren't losing to the big teams, but they weren't like
Playing well,
and they
right,
weren't trying to
right,
win. Like they were
right.
just sitting back, and they know they're going to defend well, and I think that's going to be Arteta's downfall. I think, my opinion, Arsenal has a better chance of winning the Champions League than they do the league.
They're winning the league.
Yeah.
I think so too. Comparatively, like I don't think they'll win the Champions League, but I can see them winning it over winning the league.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I think when you get to, and we'll talk about, like, knockout again, I think Arteta in a knockout round is more effective than 34 games over a period.
Right.
Like they'll qualify in the league phase of the Champions League, and then in a knockout round where you can defend for
90 minutes and
150 of the 180 minutes, right?
Right.
And then score a goal and defend that. I think like that's effective.
Suits him
for
better,
Arsenal,
right.
Where in the league where you draw and you're dropping points, that's not going to work, right? So
Agreed.
I think Arsenal.
What do you think they'll finish in
they
the
did
league?
what? They went to semifinals last year.
They
PSG?
lost to PSG.
Yeah, the semifinals, right? So
Where do you think they'll finish in the league?
I think they're going to finish second. But I think it's
solid.
going to be. I think Liverpool's going to get going like a machine, and
That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, yeah, but you
You're
know,
insane.
I mean, like, I can't really complain because, like you said, we're never gonna out of second gear and still winning. You know what I mean? And I would say a lot of that attributes to like players still figuring out how to play with each other.
It has been great, and
Right,
Yeah.
right.
now the question for me is like you got Isak and like where's
That was my
what's
question
gonna
too,
go
because
now?
that was my question too, because
They're gonna play Isaac.
is his intention to now
I
like
think you're
switch
gonna probably play him on the left.
like a top four? You know what I mean? Is that like his like idea now, like a 4-4-2 variant formation to play two strikers?
drop it to
'Cause you
keep
can't drop
things
it. To
great.
keep, the way he started, there's no way you can drop him. Like I understand it's Isak, but like, what kind of like disrespect would that be for right?
So this weekend, Isaac doesn't start. He's not fit yet. So
Yeah,
you're gonna-
but I think there's going to
It's
be
Burnley, so-
that, like the way like Fabinho when he signed for Liverpool,
Correct.
barely played the first half of the season until he got
Go on.
fully going to the.
Ultimately, the 9 will be Isaac.
Yeah.
Then, do you say Ekitike? Ekitike could play left wing.
I think he
He
plays.
play over Gakpo.
Yeah,
But Gakpo's great.
He's also
I love
having
Gakpo.
a stellar
Yeah.
season.
But I think they did this signing mostly for obvious reasons. Who doesn't want Isaac, right? And Isaac wants you. But like, you know, you're a really big team. You're going to play 100 games this year, whatever it is. All high-level games. You got to be up for it. One injury to Ekitike to Gakpo.
Yeah.
Then you're
Right,
super
right.
thin.
Things-
You don't have
right.
Luis Diaz anymore.
Right.
So Isaac offers you a great starter, and now Ekitike and Gakpo are the guys that are going to be.
I think Arsenal.
Rotated.
Wow, Arsenal. I
You
think
love
Liverpool-
Arsenal, man.
I think Liverpool needed another center midfielder.
I love this guy.
Yeah, I
Not
feel like we're not as
necessarily
like
deep.
we don't have as much depth as we did last year. We did let a lot of people like
Go.
go. Like I think Harvey should have stayed. You know what I mean? Sorry, as a Villa fan,
Not
but like
getting Gay, I think, is a big thing.
right, that was also a
You're
big.
gonna have to lean on Gomez being healthy, and he never. I think he
Which
just got
is-
hurt again.
yeah.
But
Konate, you're always nervous about Konate as well.
and then they got this young Italian kid who you probably don't want to play this year, right?
Not yet, at
Yeah,
least,
right.
right.
You want to play him in the cup
The
games.
Gakey
and-
signing would have been a big one. That
Yeah,
would
I
have
think,
been insanely
that
deep.
was a big signing where you could trust 3 center backs
Right.
and not
And you
worry
got-
that like
And you
wow.
and like 2 of them are captains. I don't know if like Van Dijk is captain for both Liverpool and
yeah,
Holland.
Haaland.
Where he was captain for Crystal Palace.
Palace.
And then
So-
Konate, I don't think he's captain anymore.
I don't think so, but you would get like
Solid,
no level
though.
would drop off if either of them like if
Right,
Konate was out,
right.
okay, he's out. Right? But when you look at the midfield and you look at like the person you're bringing in is Curtis Jones or it's Endo, and
Which, like, no disrespect to Endo, like he's not at that level, but he's a solid.
he's a solid player.
He's a solid player to help you see out a game, not to win you a game. If that
you're-
makes sense.
I think you're undermining their depth. They have Verts, Shabazlai, Gravenberg, McAllister.
yeah, but I think it's like let's
Right,
say
but now it's like where does Verts play? Verts is more of a center
what a
back
problem to
midfielder.
have.
no,
You
you
know what I
gotta
mean?
play, you got to play Verts.
No, but this is what I'm saying. But like,
Trade 100.
I know it's like a luxury problem, but these are the kind of problems that top level teams, especially after having this crazy window where you sign all these top level who want to be the guy, you know what I mean? And everybody has that superstar ego. How do you get them to mesh together and like play in your system?
Yeah. There's
You know what I mean?
there's some guys like Verts is going to keep getting a nice long runway. I actually thought he looked really sharp against Arsenal. Like the goals and the assists haven't come yet, but they will.
Right.
He's also probably going to be expected to play a little deeper.
But that's also like the German league is just so much different than
Yeah.
Premier League, right? So
Yeah.
that's expected. And then like we're just in the new age of media and everything.
need guys
where
to score and
it's
assist
like
every game.
you don't score in the first game.
Right,
wow,
you're a
you paid
flop.
100 million for this guy, like,
Yeah.
That's what they were saying about Victor after his first game.
Yeah, Jokic
in the
he went
cup,
in,
you know what I
he went in
mean?
For 20 minutes, and they were complaining about it. So it's just the age that we're in, and everything is on social media, and everyone's price tag is mentioned, but like everyone's price tag is inflated now, so that's
Also
kind
true. Right.
of out the window.
Being a 100 million player doesn't really have the same
I mean,
weight that it used to have. You know what I mean?
we
Like-
just saw Sunderland waste over 200 million
right. It's crazy.
in a window.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like
just
2 years
got
ago they
promoted.
were in like League Two.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
were. They won the playoff last year.
It's crazy.
And, like, I forgot, somebody in another league was complaining, like, not complaining, but they were saying, like, how do you compete with the Premier League? Like,
right.
the 20th ranked team is spending $200 million. Like,
Right.
that would never happen anywhere else.
Phenomenal league.
It's the Super League.
It is the
It's the
Super
Super
League.
League. You know what I mean?
You
big-
can attract a player from a top team
Dude, Sunderland,
everywhere else.
like if Sunderland were to survive and stay in the Premier League, they would more than like Ajax winning the league in their
Correct.
country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
or
think
even
we-
probably even like a team in Portugal winning the league, they probably
For
make
sure.
more. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
We get Euro points.
Yeah.
You know,
get
the,
Euro points, that's
Portuguese,
true.
the Portuguese league teams actually spent a lot this year as
They
well.
did.
Porto Milan
I think
Everybody,
especially.
everywhere. It just seems like everybody's having a crazy window this year.
Yeah.
Well, in
Or at
like,
least crazy
global
spending.
inflation.
you kind of have to. So, like, what top player can you buy these days for $40 million?
True.
No, exactly. I agree.
can't,
It's
right?
like
Like,
regular
it's
players
possible,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
and that's what
40
we
years
talk about.
ago,
Like, oh wow, he
15.
paid $60 million for
I
this
mean,
guy.
I love Kwanzaa, but Kwanzaa is nowhere near 40 million that Liverpool sold him for.
Yeah, the
like at
Leverkusen,
max,
well-
that's like a 20, 25 mil
Well, that's why
max.
Ten Hag got fired.
And
for
even
2
that's,
wins.
yeah,
He's
crazy.
Dutch.
got
Kwanzaa's
fired.
represented by Ten Hag's team. Yeah, Ten Hag is going down as Leverkusen's worst ever manager, which
Well,
is
he-
unbelievable.
I think it's deserved.
I mean, he drew a game when he was up the whole game, and they let Werder Bremen come back 2-2. And well, whatever. He's
He's
not
awful.
good.
Yeah.
But
Bring him back to United.
City, I think City. We all talk about United, but City has
City's been rough too.
a year
but,
ago,
but like the
not
thing,
good.
But the thing with like City though is like City, I feel like they always go through this cycle of like they'll stutter and this and that, and then out of nowhere they'll just click and like go 32 games.
So we thought that last year, and they were
Yeah, that's true.
They went on a stretch I've never seen them go on.
Like-
Like in the last 12 months, they've been awful.
Yeah.
Like Holland last year started the season really well. They started the season well. There was a drop off, I think in like November, December,
Roger got hurt.
and they've sustained that same drop.
Where it's
Since
like
then.
they can go one game winning 5-0, and the next game is like, what did I just watch? Like,
True. Yeah, that's
Who
a
did
fair
they? Oh,
point.
they lost to Spurs. Like
Yeah.
they lost to Spurs.
Well, Frank Thomas, Thomas Frank is really good.
Well, then you have Spurs who beat City, and then I don't know if you guys saw that stat.
They
where,
didn't play very well against.
like the last 5 times they've beaten City, the next game they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
They
like
didn't play that well last game.
it's just
That's
the
funny.
weirdest thing. But like, I don't know. City has 1 win in 3 games.
Yeah, true.
I think it's the worst start to Guardiola over the first 3 games in any league in league campaigns. They have a get right game this week. Is
Right.
it a get right game or is it?
Have you seen on Twitter? It's the Donkey Derby, which is crazy. But
But like, is
Listen, I
United-
think so. United, there was a lot of talk about they're struggling. Like Ruben is on the hot seat. I thought they've actually played pretty well. The first game,
I think so, too.
everyone was overreacting.
I think it was the Grimsby
You know-
defeat that like kind of sent everybody
Yes.
into an hysteria.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
And then I
Well,
think,
you have Onana who didn't save 1 out of 15 penalties.
well, he's out of here. So yeah, he
Irrelevant at
got
this
scored
point,
on how many
yeah.
times that night?
Yeah, like-
17 times.
Playing
He's on the keeper from the other guy. He's like, man, I'm a United fan, so I'm a little gutted.
He said he's half gutted.
Ridiculous. I
right?
agree. I think the first game they played, it was Arsenal. It was
Yeah,
Arsenal.
and they created a ton of chances.
I think there was a much better team than Arsenal. Arsenal scored off a fluky little corner
Yeah.
that just kind of
Yeah.
like bounced
True.
in. And then,
They lost points to
not to
Pal.
make any excuses, but I think Ruben gets hard done by so many like individual keeper mistakes.
I mean, that's very fair.
It's so
'Cause
like
a lot of the blame
they'll
could be shifted
dominating-
to Onana.
Correct. You
Yeah.
know, and now there's the other guy Bayender. The game against Arsenal, he comes out, he misses the ball, and then like he just stands there, and the ball's rolling in. Like
He cannot deal with crosses or corners.
none of his
awful.
keepers,
Yeah.
and it's like every single time, and everyone did it last year.
Yeah, I
they
mean, like,
conceded
I
like 17
I
goals
feel like
off
you could have
corners.
identified a better keeper
By now,
By
let's see
now,
how
you know
this
what
guy
I
comes
mean?
in
Like,
now.
They brought a new one,
They brought
right?
this
Belgian?
Belgian kid.
right, but he's a kid though, right? Like,
20
where'd he come from? Was it Belgium?
Throw him in there. Throw him in there.
Anderlecht, somewhere. He's gonna
yeah,
have to.
throw him in
He's
there.
gonna have to. They don't have anybody
Right.
else.
They got the guy that they've been starting.
I just think it's weird that like you have a keeper who's been playing consistently on Champions League, Europa League team, like so Dio Costa, like starts for a national team, and like nobody is making the.
You know what's
Weird.
funny?
I was curious. I always
Right,
wonder
like-
that too, because like
It's very
I feel like he
weird.
would have left normally a player like that would have left Portugal like 4 years ago. You know what I
It's
mean?
weird,
Like,
United has all these problems in goal, and
he's
they've
been,
never
he's, been
been
at,
like,
he's been at Porto how long? Like
his
7
whole
years?
life, yeah.
7 years? No, but I mean like professionally since
yeah,
his
I
debut.
mean, I don't know. He's 27 now, 26.
Like 7, 8 years.
I think he's fantastic.
But
which is
it's,
crazy.
it's just a weird thing.
Same thing for like Pot. I thought Pot would have been gone like 2 years ago,
But he's
3
a
years
little different
ago.
because he's like, he's a little in and out.
He's
so
kind
like,
of a guy that only works in the Portuguese
and he
league.
kind of doesn't have a position, so it's kind of hard, right? So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
fair. Yeah,
he can play
true.
anywhere, but like he plays everywhere okay.
Right.
But he's never like the worst player in the field, but in the big games, he's never the best player in the field, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
But like you look at Diogo Costa, and it's like the guy can play with his feet, comes out, crosses pretty well, and it's like you would look at United, it's like it's screaming at you.
No,
Right, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Right.
And it's like no one, they've never. And
What was the asking price for Diogo Costa at the end of the day?
Well, now it's 60 because nobody ever paid the 40 that was in his previous contract.
Ah,
Right.
40 was
Even 60, but even 60 is a
Jesus
steal
Christ.
for
But, like,
a
now-
captain. And I'm sure Diogo Costa is also probably one of like the vice captains for Portugal, or at least in that pool.
His
You know what I mean?
distribution, he's a natural leader. His distribution is unbelievable. I
Yeah,
think he's so
right.
good. And now
So-
you want a keeper that like pings the
Everybody
ball
has
really
to
well.
play. Like every keeper has to do
That's
it.
the
Right?
matter currently.
And
Yeah,
I went
You
to
need that.
the Sporting Porto game, and you watch him warming up, and it's like he's literally putting the ball down, and the guy's on the other side of the field, the other
nailing
keeper,
it, yeah.
and he's just like nailing it without a problem, right? And it's like, I don't know how. And then the last deadline day, United is trying to sign Martinez. That was the rumor, and then Aston Villa is trying to sign Diogo Costa, and I'm like, how are they
That's
going
so
the opposite way?
Right, you should have been flipped.
I was just about to
right.
say they wanted both of your keepers technically.
Yeah, right? But it's,
Remy
like,
and
but it's like I don't know how they. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, that whole Emi Martinez debacle is
Embarrassing.
embarrassing. You know
Well,
what
I mean, the
Like,
last game of the season last year, he's crying and he's like begging the fans.
actually, like he's
"Oh,
leaving, right?
And
Like such a
everyone's like, dude, what are
fool.
you doing?
Like, I'll be honest, like, Emi Martinez, I don't really like, but it's because he's not one of my players. Because this is how I feel about
Well,
like
that's
Luis
what I was gonna
Suarez.
say,
You know what I
right?
mean? Because I hate Luis Suarez. When he was a Liverpool fan, I loved it. You know what I mean? But like,
I was gonna say,
he's such like
he's
a
only a player you like if he's on your team.
right,
sure. It's like
Yeah.
Maxi Pereira when he went from Benfica.
right, exactly.
I saw him in that Porto jersey, his bald head, 5'6". I hate
You're
this
just like-
guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
I get
what
it.
is. He's like a player you want on your team when he's on it, and because you know he's gonna play hard. And
But
he's
now,
gonna-
do you think he'll like be fully there at Villa for this season, like mentally and
I
like?
just don't.
He's gotta
think-
Like, I know he's a professional, so obviously he's gonna check in. But
Marco
like,
just-
Bizots.
that was a funny interview.
Marco Bizots.
But I just don't think there's enough. Like, I've never thought he was like the best keeper in the world. I think he's
he's a good keeper.
an insane. He has a crazy mentality.
He's
Like
good at shootouts.
he saves every penalty.
Because he's a mind game master.
Well,
you
that's
know?
what he is, like,
yeah, like,
even,
he'll
like-
psych everybody out,
even on the field during the game, like he's talking trash to everybody
Right.
and he's getting people's head. Like,
which is a dying art in the game, honestly.
and that's
but
why I think everybody loves to play with him because he does that, right?
Right, right.
Like everyone likes to play with him. They know he's gonna play hard and he's gonna do that.
Also takes the
Antagonize.
pressure off of you, right? If your goalkeeper's like psychotic.
Correct,
Right,
right? And
right.
like he's just crazy. But I think there's a lot better keepers than him.
For sure.
But he's changed Aston Villa. When he got there, they were nothing, and they've been consistently in the top half.
Jack Grealish changed Aston Villa. It wasn't.
Well,
and
Jack
Grealish
really
might
should
have-
have went to Aston
Jack
Villa
Grealish
instead of
gonna-
Everton.
He's gonna get a goal or assist this weekend.
But
against Aston Villa.
honestly, I feel like Jack
Probably bring him
Grealish
from
is
FPL.
gonna like flourish at Everton. He,
Well,
he's
yeah,
been
he's
that-
already
he has
flourished.
two
But this is what I'm
goals.
saying, but
No,
I mean, like
It's
across
forced.
the
It's
season,
forced.
like he's that kind of player who's like you're supposed to play at a smaller club and be
Well-
like the cult hero and like you know what I mean, but it's supposed to be Villa.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Nobody
Like,
talks about the fact that it's that Guardiola just ruins every winger.
that's also true.
yeah,
goes to his team.
they're not allowed
Guardiola
to
kills
do
creativity.
a pass. That's
I've been saying this
every single
because
one.
you have to be super mechanical and like within the formation and
Well,
like
I
within
watched
the.
I watched the video. It was on Twitter all the way out. I don't even remember when it was, but they were running a drill, him and Doku, and it was driving down the left side, and they would have a set of cones there, and like once you got into that specific grid, you'd have to turn back and square the ball back so this guy
Well,
can
yeah.
cross the ball.
So what's his philosophy? He doesn't like to lose possession.
Correct.
So aimlessly crossing the ball into the box, aimlessly is sort of his perspective on it. He would hate that, right? He'll start tweaking on you if you're
Right.
like, oh, I think I could find an angle for my striker here. Let's lose possession because he wants to get the ball and all the guys further up the pitch and
No
working.
risk-taking.
That's why it was Bernardo Silva, right? How boring
Safe
is it now
player.
to watch Bernardo
Right.
Silva play soccer?
But you don't have he doesn't have any of those guys. He brings them on who are 1v1 players, and now they can't.
Right, and he handicaps
What is
them,
Jack
right.
Grealish going to go on the field?
And I feel like Doku's about to be his more
Doku
recent.
doesn't even play anymore.
He actually
Right.
gives him a little bit of license. Savinga's been ruined as well.
Yes, I
Like,
mean,
so many
look at him,
talented
right?
wingers.
But you look at Grealish, and when he was on Villa, he was taking players on, he was exciting.
Right.
He was
that
running
like
through everybody, and now
like
he
that.
doesn't do it.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like get you on your feet kind of player type
he was
of.
an
Like,
exciting
He's awesome,
player.
he's awesome.
And I would love to have him back. And everyone's like, "Oh, you sure he's washed?" I'm like, "Dude,
he's really not though.
it's just
like
the way."
it's the Guardiola effect.
Correct, right? So
Yeah.
like, and I get it. I mean, to each its own. Like, but I think wingers.
I mean, if it works, it works. But I mean, currently it's not working. But
yeah, well, that's another
so,
situation.
like,
Why do you
was-
think Villa's been so poor going forward?
Honestly, I think the Newcastle game was in the first half. They should have scored like 3 goals. They were playing very well. Konza makes a stupid mistake and he's last man. He takes player. I think it was Gordon. Gordon's so much faster than him. Takes him down, and then they were just defending the whole game. They were never going to score after that.
So chalk that one up.
The Brentford game, they had like 4 xG. They just can't score.
Is it Ollie
I
Watkins?
think
Kinda
Watkins is
missing?
just missing a lot of chances that
sucks.
he probably would have scored last year. I also, I think I've told a ton of people, I don't think he's a great striker. I think to play with another striker because he works.
But as a solo striker,
He works his butt off, but he's just not the best finisher. And he scored a ton of goals last year, but he also has like double-digit assists, and that's because he just works so hard.
Right.
And when Rodgers is hurt, he started the season hurt. He got hurt right
is
before
he
the season
hurt?
started. No, like he's playing, but he didn't.
I know he's
even-
playing. He's getting 2 points.
Yeah, right. Like he didn't do preseason. Like the last 2 weeks of preseason, he didn't play. He got hurt in a friendly. So I think he's playing a little hurt. Hopefully this international break. I think he got called up. He played a little bit.
He scored.
He's again
Or assisted or
something like that. Yeah. He gets a little back in form. But Rodgers last year was scoring goals. Duran was scoring goals when Watkins wasn't scoring goals. So like those were goals. That's where they were coming from. So hopefully now with Elliott coming in, he's a little more creative. Sancho's
he's a
coming
hard
in,
worker
more
too.
creative.
You know, he's definitely the type of player who does lean on the creative side, but he'll box to box it too. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I also think when they got Sancho now, they didn't have any wingers, like none at all. They sold Bailey.
Oh, where's Bailey now?
He went to Leverkusen. No, he went to Roma. Sorry, he was going to go
Okay,
there.
yeah,
but he
yeah.
went to Roma.
Okay.
But like, they were already very short on wingers.
Yeah,
and they
no
sold
Rash,
Bailey.
no Sensi, no Bailey.
Correct. You got rid of everybody. So where's ever that? Like, that's not really coming from anywhere. So they were really puzzling team for the first 3 weeks, and I think they needed to make those signings a long time ago. And you wait for all these loan signings on the last day because everyone's a little bit desperate. But I think they made some good signings, so hopefully they have
I mean, if it works, it works.
they have a tough game against Everton, who's been
They've been better than I expected.
starting season well,
Yeah.
and they're playing in their new stadium,
Which is
and
crazy.
Jack Grealish is
Yeah.
playing, so we're gonna see that.
Because like as my whole life as like a fan, I don't remember Everton ever playing well. Ever. They were always like the
It's
failure
just
club.
like pumps
You know what I
balls.
mean? Like
They're Moyes. They were pumping balls into the box, and
Yeah.
ugly soccer. You know what I mean?
They're
Like,
still that. They just have a better looking. I think like
they got Jack
Ndai,
Grealish
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Ndai, Dewsbury Hall's really good, and
that's right.
Grealish
They got him.
as the 3 guys behind the striker is a fun little
He
combination.
has such Scouser energy too. Like it fits well. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like I know
yeah.
he's not a Scouser, but
You're
like
gonna absolutely love him.
Yeah, they're just gonna.
He's due for a muscular injury at some point. I'm sure he's gonna show up one day dehydrated to a game because he loves to party.
What is City and United going this weekend?
which way you think? I
Yeah.
can see a draw.
We should do predictions real quick.
Maybe like
We should.
who's home?
City,
City.
Grealish does look reborn.
2-1 City.
2-1 City.
But
Yeah,
I think they're
actually
gonna
like
squeak
that
it out
a
at
lot.
the end. It's gonna be like 1-1 until maybe like the 88 somethingth minute, and then they're gonna squeak out a 2-1 win.
On Sunday, Liverpool plays Burnley, and my call is that Isak comes in the 60th. No, he comes in the 67th, and he scores in the 81st.
Think he scores in his first game?
He scores. He comes off the bench and scores.
Liverpool wins.
Yeah, 7-1. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, they win 4-0.
Wow.
Yeah,
At
they don't
Burnley?
I don't care.
I mean, Burnley's solid though. Like, and Liverpool's not been. I don't think 4-0 or 3-0.
Arsenal Forest.
Arsenal's going to win 3-0.
I think they win
I think
2-0.
Forest is going to be lost.
Yeah,
Imagine going from Nuno to Ainge. They'll be like, wait, you want us 30 yards out?
He's like, what do you mean I can't go behind this line?
Newcastle Wolves.
Newcastle, I think.
I think
But it's going to be like,
Where is it?
again, like super scraggly, like until the end.
I think Wolves getting relegated.
yeah.
Okay, give me Newcastle 1-0.
Wow, I'm gonna say like 2-0, but like as comfortable as could be 2-0.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say 1-0.
I just don't think Wolves have enough going forward or going backwards.
Let me ask you this one.
Have enough going
Everton
here.
or Villa?
I think they're gonna draw 1-1.
Okay.
You guys stink.
I
You
think-
guys are going to have 1 point. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
well,
I'm going to go for a 2-2.
I think they're gonna draw. I think Crystal Palace is gonna beat Sunderland
Agreed.
comfortably.
That's
Sarr is injured and Wharton is
Never
injured.
mind.
Yeah.
They're fine. But
so-
Palace is there, so that's what
Yeah,
matters.
we'll see. We'll see.
Bournemouth Brighton might be a decent game. They're still both playing progressive soccer, and Bournemouth lost a ton of players, but they lost their whole back line actually.
Yo, literally. Like, the
Everybody.
whole.
The coach is awesome. That
Areola-
Spaniard guy.
Areola is
right now.
awesome. They sold Zarani to PSG, the other center back.
Zabarnia, yeah.
They sold Huijsen to Madrid.
Madrid.
Kirkes to Liverpool.
Liverpool.
and
Keeper's
they-
gone as well, no, Kepa?
Kepa's on Arsenal.
Yeah, Kepa's a backup to Arsenal.
And then they lost the right back. I'm not sure where he went, but they lost him too.
I mean, but like, Brighton always, I feel like they're always
Yeah,
like
Brighton-
steadily
Brighton's just pumping players
same
out.
level, right? Like, they're just playing Football Manager, you know what I mean? They have scouts coming in from like Singapore with like another Mitoma, you know what I mean? But the Singaporean version.
Brighton
And-
sold a player to Chelsea/Strasbourg.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, Enciso?
Chelsea/Strasbourg.
I feel like Chelsea should get hit with more fines and more.
RICO charges.
Yeah, like
Bueno Note
get Giuliani on the phone.
from, is it Leicester? Was he on Leicester? Bueno Note.
He was. No, Buonanotte was on
Brighton, again Brighton.
Yeah.
And he said the reason why he joined Chelsea was to play in the Champions League, and then he wasn't included in the Champions
Yeah.
League squad.
That's
You know,
unbelievable.
Chelsea things. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
unbelievable.
you can't register 42 players to the Champions League, so like it makes sense. Somebody had to miss out. But
Last year, Cole Palmer wasn't registered for the first half of the Conference League.
I mean, they played nobody in it, right? So
right, it's not like he had to be.
Chelsea dropped points last week, didn't they?
They-
drew.
West Ham, Tottenham.
I think Tottenham beats
Give me
it.
Tottenham, yeah.
I
Give
think
me,
West Ham's not.
give me Tottenham 3-1.
Yeah, I think
3-1?
I think
Yeah,
West
they're
Ham's
awesome.
going to struggle until they get a new coach. I think it would be interesting if West Ham got rid of Graham Potter, because I don't think he's
I don't think he's all
good
that
enough.
either.
And I
yeah.
think they should go after Nuno.
I think
That's a good match, yeah.
I think that's the best thing you've said all day. I really do. I think that's so smart because when you suck in the Premier League, the best thing you could do is defend like hell.
Well,
Right,
that's what
right.
Wolves did last year with Vitor Pereira, and that's what saved them. They were just
Defend
driving
like
the ball
hell.
out.
You are in full defense mode. It's like
Yeah.
when a company is struggling, about to go bankrupt. Bring in the toughest,
top
hardest
guns,
CFO
right.
and shut that thing down.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like, you look at it, if they could defend, they still have players who can counter and score goals.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's a great call. And Nuno's so good defensively.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it
Who
with
definitely solidified the team like that.
and he
you
has
know what I mean?
experience all over the place. He's done Wolves. He's done Nottingham. Like I think he'll Tottenham.
He's ready. He just came out. He was fully into the Premier League. Bring him right back in. I think Graham Potter's a total fraud.
I think so too.
And I think somebody posted it, but Nuno worked for two of the craziest people in the Premier League.
Yeah, the owner's a wild card.
The Forest guy and
you can
Daniel
handle
Levy.
anything.
Oh, yeah,
He worked for
yeah.
Daniel Levy
You
before-
can handle anything now at
So,
this
like,
point. Yeah.
But I think it would just be a smart decision to just. I mean, if he's available right now, with
Go
what he's
for it.
done,
Right,
do it.
right,
So,
right.
I
I don't think they'll sack Graham Potter just yet, though.
I think so. He was horrible last year. He was there almost the whole year.
He's got like the English tax. You know, I don't know.
I
I
think-
don't
I
see
think
it happening
West Ham is just
right
like,
now, at least.
I don't know, just not like a real club. They're just there, like every time. I don't know.
They're just always. gonna
They're
be
just
up
always there.
Yeah.
Like they're just
I mean,
like.
the only time I've ever seen like West Ham do really, really, really good
won the
was
Conference League.
in like Ted Lasso. You know what I mean?
with what's his name? Nate was the coach.
Yeah, Nate
But
the-
like
Nate the
David
Great.
Moyes was there, and they were okay. They won the Conference League, but they were never like really good, and they're just
Right,
not
right.
good now, right? So
right.
that's where we're at with those guys. Barca's been terrible if we got into Barca, but
Yeah, I haven't watched.
I haven't seen too much of
they've
La
dropped
Liga,
points.
but
They-
apparently, like I don't. People have been saying Madrid's not that great. Like
Madrid hasn't been playing well. I watched one of their games, but
Well, we
there
saw the
were-
red flags in the Club World Cup with
Yeah.
Madrid.
yeah,
I did-
true.
I saw today that Xabi Alonso kicked Rudiger out of practice because he started fighting Vinicius after like a bad tackle.
Oof.
So
Trent's getting benched already.
Trent was getting benched because Carvajal
That's
came back.
hilarious. Imagine getting benched by like a 37-year-old.
And
I
then
saw a tweet.
He
It was
get
like
called up to national team.
I saw a tweet. It was like Trent went to Spain to become the Beckham, and he became Harvey Elliott.
If he's lucky.
And
dude.
now
Jesus.
Madrid's going to play at Anfield in the Champions League.
Yeah. Oof, that's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god, we
a
didn't even
rough
get to talk about the
homecoming.
draw.
That's right.
Yeah.
If we got a killer draw.
Ooh, Sporting
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Sporting
about
got a
Europa League
rough.
draw.
Yeah, we can do that before we close. I'm gonna bring it up.
Well, Europa League
He really
draw.
doesn't want to talk about the Europa League draw, even though the Europa League is interesting because Porto's in it.
Who cares about
We
the
can talk
Europa
about the
League?
initial.
Can we petition and not talk about the Europa
We
League?
could talk about Victor Verholt.
He's really good, dude.
He won Player of
He's
the
really
Month,
good.
Young Player of the Month, and Midfielder
Is
of
he
the Month.
18 or 19?
19.
Nice. Nice. Good for you guys, huh?
I mean, speaking of Porto's looking good this year.
Don't jinx it. It's only 4 games
Yeah, but you
in.
guys look more solid in these 4 games than I've seen you all last season.
Well, I think they played one of the best games I've seen them play in a long time. The last game against Sporting.
You guys have the best coach in the league now. I think that guy's awesome.
I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
that guy Ansaldi was
because
completely
like
lost.
I don't know. I feel like he's definitely currently being the best, but like to claim him the best
It's-
off rip. I mean, like
Because of what he did in Italy, I think he's brought those
Fair.
tactics, and he's got a great vision, man. Yeah, they're good. And Samu's a tank up top. And I forget who those wingers that you guys signed are, but they all look
Borja.
productive. Yeah.
Borja Sainz. William Gomez is carrying his Club World Cup form into the season. He scored a banger against Sporting.
Unbelievable goal. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So, yeah, I mean,
I wasn't expecting his
good.
voice to sound like that.
like
but-
Mickey Mouse.
I feel like that about so many soccer players.
But,
But it's like you
like,
finally hear
you're
them
looking
speak,
at
and
it
you're just
like,
like,
Yeah.
okay.
No, but I think it's interesting. I think finally the 3 Portuguese teams, I think, this year can go all the way, like
Like in a
to
3
the
horse
end.
race?
Yeah, right. So it's
I've
usually
seen
it
that in
seems
a
that
long
way.
time.
like you find it, it's like 2, and then like 1, and then it's
Right.
But I think the 3 teams this year have started well. I mean, Spartan lost to Porto, but they played well. That game could have easily been a draw too.
I mean, it's still started the league strong.
But like,
too,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's been. Nobody's like. You
So
don't
I love
look
to
at one
see
of the 3
on
teams,
all
you're
fronts.
like,
I love to
wow.
see that because competitive is only good for
Correct.
each other. You know what I mean? I love to see other teams too start to like achieve at that level. You know what I mean? I don't ever see it happen.
We've been getting clowned, I think, on social media because people are like analyzing Jokic and they're saying,
Yeah, well-
look at the leagues, look at the teams in the Portuguese league, and they'll go through all the teams, and it's
Well, one team that's stripped it all the way down is Vitória. They from the starting lineup of last season, they have one player that's still there.
That's still
Guimarães.
They've gotten rid of
Wow.
everybody,
Oh wow!
which sucks. They had a really
Yeah, that
good team
turnover's
last year,
crazy.
and they've gotten rid of everybody, which is
That's wild.
And
I feel like
but that
that's
has
part of the
become
reason why
biased,
these teams
which
can
is
never
correct.
grow.
Yeah.
But you know what
Either,
sucks
you know,
is like the player they just sold their captain in last January. Porto wanted him, and they wanted like 10 million for him, and they just sold him for 3 million to Red Star. Like, I think that's another problem the Portuguese league has is like to sell it within league. These little teams, they put a ridiculous price tag, and then they sell somewhere
which like I see the logic behind it
I do
because you don't
too.
want to sell to like direct competitors.
But you're not competing.
Right,
So, like,
exactly.
If you could bought a kid, he tore his ACL
yeah,
last
he's
year.
really
yeah.
good.
Really
But they paid
good.
a ton of money for him too.
Yeah, close to it's over 10, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But like,
They're
that was-
cashing out.
That
Good
was
for
the
them.
guy. So it was him. It was Manu and Tomas Handel, and instead of selling him to Porto for a decent amount, they wanted double. And then but now you make 3 million.
Ah, so who loses after all?
Vitória. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to sell because you don't want to be selling to your competitors, but are you really selling them to a competitor? No.
Right.
Like,
The only one who could maybe make that argument is like maybe Braga. You know what I mean?
correct. Yeah. And
But I was able to withhold, but they're okay. They're doing all right
But
financially.
that's what Braga does. Braga, to any of the big teams, always, like, Porto bought David Carmo for 20-something, and he was
He never panned out, right?
one of the biggest busts that they've ever bought.
Benfica wanted to get Horta.
And they
Ricardo
wanted a
Horta.
ton of money
They
for
wanted
him, too.
over 20.
They just sold Roger to Al Ittihad for 35 million.
Who?
Roger Fernandez,
I don't know.
the
He
winger.
should have stayed in the league. Maybe
He's
he's
really
a
good. He's
baller.
18. He's the guy. It's him, Kenda, and Rodrigo.
The new
Mora.
gen of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
a baller.
Yeah,
Is
he's
Kenda
really-
going to play this
But
year?
like you were saying before, you put these ridiculous prices. Portuguese teams can't really afford it, or
Now they can, supposedly.
Right,
If
but
it's a
like
golden, they can.
I could see like in their brains like $20 million for a kid from the Portuguese league, you're probably gonna better off spending it in some other league and get a higher quality player or whatever.
What
You know
they're
what I mean?
doing, they went to Denmark and they got Verholt from Copenhagen and paid 20 million for him, and he's been
We've been loving Scandinavia,
right.
and Benfica as well.
That's what
You
Portugal
know
should do now.
Sporting,
Yeah.
Kilman,
Yeah,
and Victor last year.
and Suarez.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So-
He's been good. No,
It's
but,
been awesome. 4 goals this weekend.
What's his name? The Benfica signed Dedic, and he's been.
Awesome player.
But now he's hurt.
And knee sprain,
Yeah, he'll be
which is
okay.
awful.
But
He's
been awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an exciting
I cannot,
season ahead for sure.
I cannot say better things about
I think all three teams have made really good signings in every single aspect.
Yeah, for sure. I think they all had like strong windows overall.
Like
Super.
Spalding
Yeah.
lost the best player, but I think they replaced Suarez. I think is a really good player.
I think so too.
He's
I think
a
he's
very
good for
different
that
player,
level too.
but he's a very good
Yeah.
player.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, guys.
Good. Happy to be back, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a while. I feel like we started a little rusty. You know, good shake off the summer
Cobwebs,
the summer
yeah.
cobwebs. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We'll have more to talk about next week. Have a good night. Thanks.
See ya. Watch Aston
Peace.
Villa.
Hopefully they win.
Hopefully they do better.
Bye, guys.
First win.
Yeah.